Boy, there's no doubt winter's arrived. This weather sucks. I want to show you guys what we did manage to get accomplished in the garage. Talk a little bit about what's going on, what the future holds, what has been going on with my health condition. And let me go in here and turn some heat on. I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, let's talk about what I've been up to. I've been up to trying to get my four-wheeler back together. As you can see, a lot of it is back together. Finally got the brakes working. If you can believe this, and I knew this, just past experience, but I didn't think it would happen to this one. The brake fluid in this thing was used up. This thing's a 97. The brake fluid looked like maple syrup, thick and brown. It should be clear and, pretty thin. So Carl and I spent a good portion yesterday, half hour or maybe a little longer, pumping and bleeding to get all the old fluid out of the thing. Finally got the brakes working right, because they were dragging every time you'd hit them. When you were riding it, they would stick unless you pulled the handle back manually. So at least got the brakes working. The other issue I was having was the water pump. This is the water pump housing. It sits in here like that. And I couldn't get the bolt out, so I had to cut one of the bolts out. Bottom bolt. Because if I tried to get the bolt out, it probably would have broke off flush right there, and I would have never got it out, and I would have probably ruined my engine trying. So I just cut the head of it off, which gave me enough to grab with vice grips, and I was able to heat and wiggle and get it out. So I ended up getting the new pieces here. I ended up having to get a new housing, because you can see right there, where is it? Right there, I had to grind the head of the bolt off to get it out. But anyways, so I had to get the new housing, put the new housing on, new gasket, cleaned it up, looked beautiful, put it all together, and it freaking leaks, if you can believe that. So now I gotta figure out why. Hang on, I'll be right back. I have no clue why that would have leaked. It was spotlessly clean. It's perfectly flat, brand new gasket. I don't know. So, but at least I made steps forward, got the tires on, the brakes working. I'll just have to get another gasket. It does have a little bit of a problem with the carburetor. If you leave the fuel on, it'll drip once or twice a minute, but it's totally usable. I'm not going to worry about it too much. We only use it for hauling firewood, but the coolant drip was quite substantial, like drip, drip, drip. Only when it was running. When you shut it off, it barely leaks. So that's that. So I just thought I'd give you guys an update on things. I've got my garage all buttoned up now. The ceiling's all covered so I can stay warm. That was my goal, was just to be able to come out here and do nothing if I want. If I wanted to sit and just enjoy my garage, that was my goal. Or little projects. Carl helped me tremendously, but it took over 2 months to put this plastic up. It should have taken a week, so I lost time there, and it sucks because Carl finally gets it now that things have gone a little bit south for my health. We're no longer able to ignore it anymore. I have to face the reality of what's happening to me, and the outside influences and forces that are talking about palliative care, that are talking about end-of-life decisions, that are talking about all these things. Had we fixed my garage and gotten it done 2 months ago, that's 2 months I could have enjoyed my garage without worrying about end-of-life decisions. But now I got people calling me, not pushing, but, they're saying, hey, you really probably should do these things, get these things in place. Yeah, we put all my ducks in a row when I was in the hospital. So Tracy has the, power of attorney and all that kind of crap, which is fantastic. But there's other things that need to be done as far as palliative care, end-of-life care. I don't know how many of you guys have researched what I have and how it ends for someone that has this. It's ugly. There's a nurse. I know a lot of you guys don't follow Facebook, but on Facebook, there's a girl named Nurse Julie. I believe that's even her Facebook page, and she's a hospice nurse. And I ran across her. Of course, that popped up in my feed for some reason. I wasn't looking for no frickin' hospice info, but I started watching because it's a reality. I gotta face this sometime. Well, she did a segment on what I have, glioblastoma, and she flat out said it is the worst way you can die. Worst way you can frickin' die. And it's like, really? Of course that would be my luck. So, anyways, I don't know if you guys are aware of this either. I'm going on 7 months into something. The average life expectancy is 8 months. And she did a video, like I said, about glioblastoma. And I am so fortunate. I could not be more fortunate. The main symptoms that start out with this cancer are headaches. I don't have headaches. Loss of cognitive function. I'm suffering that a little bit. The other thing, though, it was more than just a cognitive function. Headaches and this is where I'm noticing I'm having issues. Struggling with simple little things at times. You guys might say, oh, he sounds fine. Well, I'm not. I'm struggling for little things. There was two main things with the glioblastoma: headaches and I honestly can't remember what the second one was. Maybe it'll pop in by the time I'm done with this video. So seizures. It was seizures. Well, I'm having neither. So like I said, I'm going on 7 months into 8 months, and 8 months is the average life expectancy once someone's diagnosed with this. So, I'm still walking and talking and working in the garage, and most people, if they saw me, would not even know that I got cancer, let alone a brain tumor. So I feel I'm not just in the 1%, I think I'm in the 0.0001%, like a very rare exception. I'll take it, guys. I will take it. So hopefully this will continue now that I've had my first treatment. That IV treatment was only 30 minutes. It took forever because it was the first one. And I hadn't had my blood work done prior to going there that day, so they had to take my blood, ship it off to the lab, and we sat there and waited for probably about an hour and a half before they got the blood back. So not a big deal. Once they got the blood back, it was 30 minutes. That's all I had to sit in the chair, and I only got to do it every 3 weeks, so that's not a lot to ask. 2 days after I had this IV, my eyesight improved 30 or 40%. My eyes felt puffy, and everybody said they could see it in my eyes that they were puffy. Watching TV, I couldn't even read the guide on the satellite dish guide. My eyesight's improved, like I said, 30-40%. I can read the guide. It's not blurry. My eyesight's far from perfect, but man, it improved my eyesight, and there's no question of that. So I'm happy. It is what it is. I'm scared to death, guys. I am absolutely scared to death. I'll be right back. Sorry, it just overwhelms me when I think about the reality of it, because even as good as I feel right now, it's still kind of easy to ignore the reality of it. Like all summer, I was okay. Now the reality of this is hitting home because I am staggering sometimes. I am off balance big time. I do struggle putting wood in the wood stove at times. I struggle with lots of little things, and just this little bit of cognitive decline is happening, and that's gonna happen. It's gonna get worse. How long do you go on trying? I'm not one to give up, but at some point I'm gonna be freaking falling down, probably being a stubborn asshole that I am, like with this ladder thing. I'm only going up 2 steps on that ladder right there. I'm only going up maybe 3 at the most on the drop down steps, but there's a handrail on that. So, but I can't give up, guys. If I quit, I'm done. That's how I look at it. So, I don't know, but now I'm trying to do this project. Now that that's on the back burner, I know what's wrong with that. But all this stuff here is Tracy stuff. Mostly 95% of it anyways. But anyways, it was in the attic of the garage. I pulled it down hoping she would go through it, sort it, get rid of what's not good, you know. Why keep this crap? Well, some of the stuff was brought down in 2000, what year was it? Whatever the first flood we had, 2004, 2007. It's been down here ever since. And then the second flood we had was a few years later. And everything that got taken out of the house, brought out here in the garage, I was like, there's no point in putting it back in the house because we're just going to have to frickin' move it again. Well, guess what? All this shit over here is her stuff. So I put all the Christmas stuff back in the attic, me and Carl did, and her mason jars and stuff. So all that's back in the attic at least, because that was all down here too. Now I'm trying to get her to go through these clothes and sort them out. Obviously, you don't need them. This stuff's been down here for 10, 12 years. You're not wearing any of it. And when I do ask her to come out here and look at it, she's been coming out here for most of the time she won't. And when she has, she spent 10 or 15 minutes looking at it. So it's kind of like, maybe this stuff might just disappear when she's not looking. But I don't want to do that to her, but I'm getting fed up with looking at this crap and asking her to do something with it and having nothing be done with it. So that's my rant about that. And let's move on to the palliative care. I don't know if you guys know what palliative care is. Palliative care is basically something for someone that's terminal. And I had to have that conversation with somebody yesterday. It wasn't so much about that conversation. It was about her giving me 2 resources of people to call that offer free legal help, because as it stands right now, my will is so outdated. It has 2 cars on it that I no longer even own. So everything else is pretty up to date. My granddaughter's on there, Tracy's on there, obviously, but it should be fixed, you know. And they have free legal help. So I'd be a fool not to take advantage of that. So this is quite a long rant, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'm doing it for the ladies that follow us closely and care. And we do appreciate the fact that you guys care. Because I'm quite alone here, except for Tracy and my cats and Carl. And Paul and Karen, but I don't even really talk to Paul and Karen but about once a week anymore. So, let's see, palliative care, blah, blah, blah. That's just something they do. I did have it up here on my phone. I can show you what it is. This is the email she sent me. 2 legal websites discussed, and I don't like the wording of that. Don't you guys think they could have used better wording for that website? But it is what it is. It's free legal help. So now let me take a break here. I think there was a little bit more I wanted to discuss, but I'm drawing a blank. Okay, I believe I figured out what I was going to talk about. The other thing was driving. I think I've told you guys that I'm not driving anymore. I could. I'm totally capable, but nobody wants me to, and I'm not gonna. I mean, if I need to go to town, I can, but I don't have my other car anymore. I don't know if we told you that or not, but I sold my green car just because we needed the money for one thing, and figured I'd get something out of it while I still could, or get money out of it while it was still worth something before it rotted the rest of the way out. So that was that. And my next treatment, the intravenous treatment, is about 2 weeks or so. I can't remember what day of the week I had the one done. I can tell you exactly what day the next one is. But anyways, and then I have another brain scan scheduled. I believe they moved it up a little bit sooner. I don't know why, because I'm doing pretty good. But obviously I'm scared to death for the day that the treatment stops working. When you're told you have an aggressive type cancer and the tumor's already shrunk, obviously that's fantastic news, but how long will this drug be able to overcome the cancer? Hopefully for a while. The 5 year, the statistics are a little better than I originally thought. The 5 year life expectancy is, I want to say 7%, something like that. It's still not very damn good, but it's better than I thought. I thought it was like a complete death sentence, but it actually kind of is, guys. Nobody lives with this cancer. Eventually it takes out everyone, and that's scary as F. That's all I can say. It's like, and it's so hard to live day to day knowing you have this crap inside of you that's going to take you out eventually. How do you stay in a good mood? How do you look forward to anything? How do you, how do you do anything with a positive attitude? It's like, how can you not be pissed off at the world? Because I pretty much am. Tracy and I went to a Christmas party last week or whatever it was. See, I can't even remember days. I couldn't tell you if it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago. It's just, that's really making my brain foggy. But anyways, it was fun. But being out in public, when I had to get up to go to the bathroom, I was like, oh shit, can you walk with me to the bathroom? Because I was that unsteady. I thought I was all right, but being out in public, being out in bright lights, it was just like, no, I need somebody walking behind me at least, just in case. And that's how wobbly I am now. Walking around the house, I've gotten used to it because it's my house. I can be wobbly. I can stagger or whatever. It feels kind of natural because it's my house. But when I go out in public, somewhere else, it's like, oh my God, I can really tell how bad I am. And it's not getting any better. It's staying the same, I guess, which is a good thing, but it also has gotten better. Sorry, it has gotten worse in the last month. Slightly, but I can tell, I can notice, I can feel it in my speech. When I try to get a cup of coffee, even just little things around the house are getting more difficult. So anyways, I just thought I'd give you guys an update. If you think there's anything I forgot to mention that you want to know, please feel free to ask. I don't know at what point, again, as I've said many times, when will this be more than I want to share? I don't know yet. I guess I'll know when that time comes, but we appreciate your support, guys, and Tracy sure could use some because, she's kind of the forgotten one in this. She is having a hard time with it, obviously, so, and I can't forget her support. So we love you guys and appreciate everything you guys have supported us through. We'll see you guys soon.